Good afternoon from Buddy Eccles Field here at Coppell High School. We got our Coppell Cowboys taking on the Lewisville Farmers in the first game of mini in the North Texas tournament. We are almost 5 minutes into the first half, and Coppell has maintained much of the possession. Long ball in, goes out for a corner kick. Coppell's ball, first of the match.
And that was a big part of their offense last year, is just getting those big balls down into the corner of the field, so that they can set up with Nick Taylor in the middle, along with Wyatt Priest there late in the season. That was just a major part that they were able to run, especially in their playoff run last year.
Yeah, that was the biggest part of their attacking was Wyatt and Nick, along with Kiko Redondo, who we should see lots of action from this weekend at this tournament. Nick Taylor's corner goes way beyond the back post and looks like it's out for another one. Coppell looks to capitalize off their set piece opportunities, as well as building out of the back and coming on the counterattack.
Yeah, and again, those set pieces, I mean, we saw, especially in that state championship game, where they were just able to capitalize on every opportunity. This is an opportunistic offense. They've got some really, really skilled guys there at the forward position.
Low ball in. Lewisville takes over, knocks it out, knocks back into the box. Wyatt Priest, wide open header, just wide to the right. First look at the Cowboys' offense this season, putting on the pressure.
And that was a major part of their state championship run last year, and they really didn't lose a whole lot in their offensive attack. I mean, you have Nick Taylor, the Arizona commit, returning. You have Wyatt Priest returning. I mean, those two guys were the centerpiece in the playoffs of this offensive attack, and they lost some really talented seniors, but right there in the middle of their team is two of the most talented guys that are returning for a second run at the state championship.
Yeah, and with all those strong seniors last year, Brandon Bond, state MVP, Cowboys really get a lot of experience back with a strong sophomore to junior class, and the senior class this year is really strong, anchored in the midfield by Alex Haas, who's been really in control of the midfield all last season and looks to control it this year as well. Long set piece towards the box. Wyatt Priest isn't able to get to it. Bishesh into the box, off of Lewisville, out for a corner kick. Coppell's third in the match, putting the pressure on early. Another Nick Taylor corner, in swinging corner to the box, high, goalie up. Looks like it's headed over. Corner kick, Coppell.
I mean, we saw in district play last year, it's tough to keep up with this Coppell team. I mean, they're just so aggressive on the attack, and so you see a lot of teams just get, they just fall back into a really, defensive scheme where they just lay, 7, 8, 9 guys in their own half and just try to outplay them from a defensive side and maybe get a few opportunities on counterattacks. And, that might be what we're seeing today just in the early goings of this game.
Corner in, headed out by Lewisville. Coppell's first to the ball once again. Looks like we got Kiko Redondo on his first touches of the match. Alex Haas, the anchor in midfield. You can easily see already Coppell's keeping high pressure. All 10 of their outfield players ahead of the midfield line, really just putting the pressure on from the beginning. And I think that's one of the key things. If they can do it this year, they should make another long run into the playoffs. First free kick of the match for Lewisville. Low kick, blocked by Bishesh Nandahar. Coppell quickly looking to get the ball out, but Lewisville keeps it in. Ooh, shot over the crossbar. Coppell goal kick.
Oh, and he had a guy open there in the middle. I think he should have just passed it one more time, and they might have had an open look at goal. But that was a bit of a defensive lapse there by Coppell early. That's but it's obviously very early in the season. It's the first regular season game, so there's going to be those small mistakes there. But a good play by Lewisville to get a nice shot on.
That is what these early season, preseason tournaments are for, is to get that team chemistry together.
Exactly.
It's the first couple games of the year. The team's been practicing hard all off season, but now you really get to see how everyone gels together and really work out those kinks. And so it's important for both teams right now to link up possession and really build an attack going forward, and try not to get too sporadic. Alex Haas takes over in possession, knocks it all the way back to Lawrence Fairchild, who knocks it all the way back to goalie Carlos Haro.
Yeah, and this is Haro's first, full season starting at goalkeeper. Last year he played in a few district games when they got out of hand in a blowout, but he hasn't had a whole lot of experience so far, and that's another big part of this non-district season for the Cowboys. They're going to look to get him experience at the varsity level in the goalkeeping position, and I think he's a talented guy. He's got to work on his decision making, but he's a guy that I think as he continues to grow. He was only a sophomore last year. As he continues to grow, he'll progress into a really nice goaltender.
Yeah, they've got another goalie, Deep Sony, who was on the JV team last year, and this is his first year on varsity as well. Coppell's had a pretty strong history of solid goalies with Dante DiCiolo back a couple years ago, and then so this year they're starting with two new guys. So we should see both of them here in this tournament this weekend, getting lots of time in, and hopefully Coach Chad Rakestraw can make a decision as we head into the regular season about who he's going to start and feel comfortable playing. Lewisville keeping up the pressure, but early offside, and it'll be a Coppell free kick on about the 15-yard line.
And we saw last year this Coppell defense. They were just so solid last year, especially in the playoffs. But that's a great way to beat them, is with those balls over their head. Just get it behind them and make them be the ones that have to go back and get it. You can't just get it by them with low balls, but if you get the ball over their head, which doesn't happen often, then you can really make something of it.
Yeah, because they play with such a high back line that if you got a speedy forward and you can get a good ball in over the top, you can really do some damage to this Coppell defense. But if you're going to play that long ball in, you got to be ready for that ball to get quickly knocked back towards you. You got to defend quickly, because Coppell certainly will take control on a counterattack. But here's Lewisville in the box with that Coppell defense. It's a staple of the Coppell team. Early on, both teams struggling to really find some possession. Coach Rakestraw is down there on the sideline yelling at his team to settle down and just play how they know they should play. And I'm sure the Lewisville coach is saying the same to his team.
Yeah, I like what Lewisville has been doing, though. When they do have possession, they've been controlling it fairly well. This is a Coppell team that has high expectations, and they're not an easy team to beat, but I like that Lewisville's been staying, for the most part, aggressive.
Now, it is a really windy day here, so both teams are really at a disadvantage with the wind. They got that wind at your back. Makes knocking it long easier, but it's harder to get the ball back. And then if you're Lewisville going into the wind right now, it's hard to get the ball up the field. So we'll see how the weather plays a factor today and the rest of the weekend. Another Lewisville throw-in, really putting on more pressure than I think most anticipated today. We'll see how Coppell can handle the pressure and see if they can move quickly out of the back and get the ball forward. Lawrence Fairchild with some good defense down there, making another Lewisville throw-in.
Yeah, and Lawrence is going to be huge for Coppell this year. You mentioned before Brandon Bond, he was the state tournament MVP, and I think Lawrence is going to have to, he played a lot in the playoffs last year, but he's going to have to fill in that spot in the center along with George Ackling there. So those two are going to be huge so that goalie Jose Haro can continue to progress without having too much pressure on him early on in the season.
Yeah, because he's filling the shoes of the Coppell great Andrew Grimmer, who's now playing college soccer, and he was a really strong center back for Coppell, just fearless. Every ball was his. He was first every ball. So Lawrence has got a pretty big role to fill as the leader of that defensive group, along with George Ackling there, and then on the outsides, Asa Robichaud, another strong returning guy from last year. So definitely a very experienced Coppell team. Should be seeing them go far in the playoffs this year and should have a really strong district. It's anticipated that they should win their district if they can beat a strong Dallas Jesuit team. Alex Haas right there with just a cheeky knock. Lewisville gets a pretty decent free kick from about 30 yards out going into the wind. This is really Coppell's first major breakthrough for Lewisville. See how Coppell defends this free kick here and what Lewisville decides to do. Do they go for the shot, or do they try to chip it over the top more towards Alex Haas and George Ackling and also out there on the wide side?
Yeah, you see Coppell, they've got, 9 guys back there in the box defending this one.
Yeah, I think that's the strong point. It looks like they've got a 5-man wall, and every guy's got a man. They're really playing strong defense. Lewisville is lining up for the shot. Oh, what a goal. Fantastic strike from 30 yards out by Lewisville. Carlos Hara couldn't get full good glove on it, and Lewisville's first on the board.
That's one I think Hara wants to have back. He timed it well. He jumped for it, and it was almost a really good save from Haro, but he's got to get to that ball, and that's something that we're going to see this year. He's got to continue to progress.
But Coppell quickly to the kickoff. They don't seem shaken at all. Once again, fantastic shot by Lewisville. Not much the goalie can do there. It was up high into the upper left corner, into the wind. Really just got to give all credit to Lewisville right there. And Haro's got to knock that one off, and recognize it's the preseason, so that one doesn't matter too much. Just got to really encourage his team to get up and get forward, and hopefully this will light a little bit of a fire under Coppell to get an attack going. Here's Parker McClure to Alex Haas. Alex puts 3 points on the board. Up through the goalpost, knocks it into the bushes. It'll be a goal kick for Lewisville. But that's really the key to Coppell. If they break down like they did, they got to respond quickly. Otherwise, it'll be a rough season. But that's what they did well last year. Is they didn't let teams really get in front of them. They were always playing on the gas pedal and having the attacking foot. So we'll see how they respond.
You talk about response. You look at the first playoff game for Coppell last year. They're down 2-1 late in the game, and then in the last 12 minutes of the game, Wyatt Priest leads a 3-0 goal advantage in those 12 minutes. They win 4-2, and that's really the spark, the turning point, as some of the players called it, of that championship run. So this is a time where they need to respond. And first game of the year, we'll see what they can do.
Throw in here for Coppell, looking long for Bishesh Manandahar. Drops right in the middle for striker Kiko Redondo, Parker McClure. Not much he can do there as he's swarmed by Lewisville defenders. Lawrence Fairchild got to be a strong center back, getting his foot into the ball. There's Alex Haas right there. He's probably the rock of this Coppell team. Really controlling, dictating the pace of the movement in that center midfield role. With Wyatt Priest there, Wyatt tends to get more forward. Alex stays back and plays a more defensive role, but Alex is one of the best shooters on the team, and he can easily score from 30, 40 yards out, so goalies have to always be on their toes when he gets the ball. almost halfway through this first half of action here in this North Texas tournament. And both teams, not much to separate both teams with that one free kick goal by Lewisville.
There's a great ball by Alex Haas.
Putting in Sheshman hard into the corner. He's got the defender coming up, knocks it back into the middle. And Lewisville just knocks it out for Coppell throwing.
Can't quite do anything there, but I think that's exactly what Rakestraw wants to happen, is just those balls down into the corner and then just load guys up in the box and throw some balls across the middle in there.
Yeah, they really practice that crossing into the box from the outside and building play through the outside midfielders. And I think that's where Coppell is really its strongest, is when it knocks balls into the box and makes defenders and goalies panic a little bit. And, Wyatt Priest has had a couple header goals last year, and the forwards aren't afraid to get physical with the defenders. So I think it really just keep pressing and pressing, Coppell will break through soon enough. Parker McClure with the ball on the Kiko Redondo, but Lewisville's defense, once again, pretty strong. Here's Lawrence Fairchild coming up in the midfield. Alex Haas quickly filling his place. All these guys know their roles, and when one guy steps up out of his position, one's quickly back there to cover for him. So when he comes back, there's not a giant hole, and I think that's just speaks to Rakestraw's coaching that when one guy goes to join the attack, one guy's got to fall off and fill that hole, because just like that, it can quickly change to a Lewisville counterattack, and they don't want to let them get in too easily. George Jackling looks to knock the ball in long to the back left side of the box. Let's see what he does. A short free kick.
A little bit shorter than they wanted there, but they might be able to make something of it.
Yeah, the Lewisville header knocked right to the feet of Alex Haas. Nick Taylor getting his first few touches. He hasn't gotten a lot of action today, and that's kind of rare. Normally we see Nick Taylor flying up the sideline, dribbling past people, breaking ankles, as they say. But he hasn't gotten a whole lot of touches on the ball today, and that might be Lewisville's coaching, is they're really highlighting him and then making sure he's covered at all times.
I'm sure he's one of the key fixtures of what Lewisville is trying to stop here today after his run in the playoffs and really all season long last year. So, Nick Taylor, he's got to step up and make some plays here for Coppell to get on the board.
Yeah, new subs, Blake Bond and Jeremy Basso come into the game. Blake Bond's ball into the box, right to Nick Taylor. Knocked out by Lewisville. Parker McClure with the header. But once again, Lewisville's right there on top of the box, not letting them get in. Alex Haas ball in a little too strong for Kiko Redondo. Lewisville's goalie picks it up pretty easily. Yeah, this Lewisville defense has played pretty well so far. Coppell's been struggling to find any sort of attack. I think they got to start keeping possession a little more and passing the ball around and sticking to their style of play.
Ball's a bit too long.
But you can see Coppell quickly gets up on the long ball and leaves three Lewisville players offsides that are struggling to get back. And I think that's just their discipline, is just to get up and get into the attack as fast as they can and really just step on the gas pedal and really just bring it to the opposing team.
If you do that, you can't make mistakes on that back line with passes. And, that's a huge aspect that they need to do well here today.
Lewisville's cross gets headed out for a goal kick. Coppell slowly advancing up towards midfield. Haro with the goal kick. Looks like Nick Taylor and Blake Bond switch sides, and Nick's now playing as the right forward, right wing role, and Blake is on the left side.
It's almost a really good ball to Nick Taylor.
Yeah, the lefty, really fast, really skilled, great shooter. Should be a nightmare for our teams all the year this season. Kiko Redondo there shielding the Lewisville defender. Knocks it to Wyatt Priest. Wyatt Priest curling shot.
Oh.
Goal! Wyatt Priest.
That's a great shot from Wyatt.
That was a fantastic shot.
I mean, he's one of those guys. He can knock it in from anywhere on the field. He's a threat from everywhere. That's a really nice play by Kiko Redondo too, to get that ball back without without drawing the penalty. So I really think, yeah, that's just a nice way for that Coppell offense to get started, and we'll see what they can continue to do. They've put on a lot of pressure so far. You mentioned their defensive line just moving up to almost midfield on those deep balls. So they need to keep on the pressure.
Yeah, it's a fantastic shot. One touch, sets it up, another touch, really, get his feet set, and then just curls it to the outside of the goal. Can't get much better than that. Textbook finishing. Goalie had no chance at it. Really well done by Kiko to shield the ball from Lewisville, and Wyatt screaming up at him, like, hey, give me the ball, hey, give me the ball. Takes his touch, looks up, and just finish it and smash it home. Well done. 14 and a half minutes left in the half. Coppell Lewisville tied 1-1. Coppell slowly starting to find their identity in this game, and Lewisville can't respond back quickly. Coppell could slowly start to run away with this one. But here's Lewisville on a counterattack, knocking the ball wide to the right, up the far side. Coppell's got 5 guys back to match Lewisville's 6. Into the box, ooh, through the legs, swing and a miss. Nick Taylor's there to knock it out. There's Parker McClure, start the attack, but the ball is just too long from Wyatt Priest.
Lewisville's doing a really good job on the attack of just replacing space with guys and then just putting the ball there before the guy is even there. I think that's just something they need to continue to do well, and their passing as well has been pretty superb on the few attacks that they've gotten into the box.
Lewisville getting through, but once again, solid Coppell defense. George Atkins, center back, making sure that nobody gets through. And there's Haro coming out, stepping off his line, really helping out his defense there. Long throw, headed back in by Lewisville. The captain on the ball right now, knocks it out to the left, near side. But there's Basso just quickly, not giving him any time and space. And I think that's really one of the biggest frustrators for Lewisville so far. Ooh, a nice header on the back post, but right to Haro's feet. A little miscommunication there. Haro's throw hits the heel, Alex Haas, and then Coppell panics out the back and goes out for a corner kick.
Yeah, that was a sloppy play. I think they need to do a little bit better on just coming off of those Lewisville attacks to continue to be aggressive on offense and get the ball into their attacking half. That's just a bit of a sloppy play by Haro and Haas there.
It just all looked a little rushed, Haro had a lot of time to get the ball up, maybe get a really good punt out, but Lewisville's corner kick gets knocked out to Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor looks to just dribble up the field like he did all last year. It's a 2v2. He's got Kiko Redondo out wide to the right, knocks it to Brandon Bond on the far side. Brandon Bond gets the ball, dribbles into the box. Lewisville's defender is right there to knock it away from him. Lewisville looks to just knock it out and regain control and possession.
I mean, we saw Nick Taylor and Wyatt Priest there. That was an electric counterattack. Got right by the defender really quickly. Let's see what they can do now.
Wyatt one-on-one, knocks it by. A little too strong. Lewisville defender's there to pick it up. But knocks right back into the feet of Alex Haas, who looks to just dribble past and use his body and his physicality. Good ball in for Nick Taylor. Ooh, shot at the goalie. Goalie save. Brandon Bond back into the box. Swing and a miss. Alex Haas top of the box. Goal! Alex Haas off the deflection. What a shot. Looks like it was just going right to the feet of the goalie, but a defender got his foot in the way and it popped up the other way. Alex Haas makes the score 2-1. Coppell shot at the top of the box.
You know what? That was an opportunity that they were easily able to capitalize on. They had a couple chances to get shots on goal, weren't able to do it, and then Haas, the ball lands right at his feet, and he does what he does best, and he just powers through that defender right over the top of the goalie.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than a wide open look at goal right at the top of the box, 11, 12 yards out. Simple shot for Haas. Makes the score 2-1. Lucky rebound off the deflection, but for Lewisville, not much you can do there. They played pretty well. Sometimes it just doesn't fall your way. Lewisville knocks it long to this near side. Jeremy Basso up and over. Kiko Redondo and a Lewisville defender sprint towards the ball, but ultimately falls to the goalkeeper. We'll see what he does. As he looked to punt, he's looked to throw with this wind. He's going to punt. Pretty decent ball, 50-yard punt. Out to Basso to the feet of Kiko Redondo. That's a great ball. Parker McClure screamed up the right side. That's where Kiko goes. Can Parker get a good cross in? He does. Goalkeeper, wonderful save.
That's a beautiful ball by Parker. That's a nice pass in the middle. He had his men there, just didn't quite make it to them.
Lewisville out the back. Lots of space in the midfield, and I think Coppell is okay with giving them that space because they know that if they let them outside, they're not going to be able to defend the cross as well. Here comes Lewisville screaming down the near side, but Coppell defender right there. That's Lawrence Fairchild once again, stepping up strong. Cross is just knocked a little too long, goes out on the far side for a Coppell throw-in.
It worked out for Coppell there, but I think they gave him a little bit too much space on the end. Lewisville just didn't throw enough guys into the box, but they really don't need to be giving him that much space. Jeremy Basso, he's a new starter on this defensive line. He was up a little bit too far on that Lewisville attack.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore, so this is probably his first year really getting some experience with some varsity reps. Maybe last year, towards after, they got the state championship, they brought him up for doing some, off-season work, but this is probably his first real varsity game getting in. And so it's just, he's got to get that experience as the outside back. He's just got to stay committed to his role on the team and not get too far forward and get caught out of position. Parker McClure steals the ball in the midfield. Nick Taylor on to Kiko Redondo. Coppell slowly building an attack out. Not doing the whole long ball thing because they have the wind at their back. Looking to now to play more possession. Ball behind Nick Taylor. Lewisville takes over.
I think that's a good job of, after you take the lead in this game, kind of just slowing it down, making sure you retain possession, and being able to get these good looks on the attack. Yeah,
I think that's where Coppell does best. Nick Taylor was shot blocked, but Coppell really looks to control the tempo of the game, and I think that's the best way to do it for them is just by maintaining possession and just passing it around and not letting Lewisville get too many touches on the ball. But here, a Lewisville player takes it up 50, 60 yards up the field. Coppell's okay with giving them that space because they know they got that strong defense right there.
And I'm not so sure that was not a handball there.
Yeah, that was pretty close, right on the edge of the box there.
It looked pretty clear to me. I guess the referee didn't have quite the angle for it, but
I think Coppell got away with that.
Yeah, the Lewisville players threw their arms up, and I think they had a case.
Yeah, hard body right there. Coppell takes over for possession. Parker McClure on to Kiko Redondo down this near side. They got 3 guys in the box. Lewisville's got 4. Kiko with a good ball to the back post. Blake Bond right there. No, excuse me, not Brandon Bond. Blake Bond at the back post right there.
That's a really nice ball by Redondo. He just it made it all the way through. I think Bond he had a play on it, didn't quite finish, but that's a tough finish for him. But a really nice ball by Redondo.
Coppell still not fully able to use that outside attack yet. They've only been able to go down through the middle. So let's see if they can get more balls from the outside crossed in and look for a nice goal from the outside. Here's Jeremy Basso down the near side. Knocked in over the top to Kiko Redondo. Fantastic ball by the young guy. Just a little too strong at the end there. Looks like Kiko picked up a foul right there. Just a little shove in the back.
Looks a little frustrated. I think he got shoved a few seconds before that on the last Coppell attack. And I don't blame him for being frustrated on that one, but he's got to be under control here.
Yeah, Parker McClure wins the header, but Lewisville takes over in possession quickly. Another foul by Coppell, shoves in the back. Just real cheap stuff right now. Nothing too hardcore, and I think Rakestraw's okay with that right now. But if it develops into a bad habit, I think a couple Coppell players could get cautioned here later on in the match, or Rakestraw will probably give them a pretty stern talking to at halftime about it. Just watch the pushing and really play under control and under composure. But here's Jeremy Basso screaming out of the back, taking on defender one-on-one. Lewisville goes out for a Lewisville throw-in. Just too strong of a touch by Basso there.
Again, you mentioned he's a young guy. Coppell does not have a lot of those on this team. They've got plenty of returning players, especially in the starting lineup. I mean, their youngest guy, Asa Robichaux, he got plenty of varsity experience last year.
He played some in this state tournament. He's no enemy to the field. So we got Marshall Board and looks like Jacob Capdevila coming in for the first time. Those are two pretty new guys. Jacob's first year at Coppell soccer. Really strong forward. Should get lots of chances on goal. Really quick player. Really good shooter. Really good addition to this Coppell attack that's already loaded with players like Kiko Redondo, Wyatt Priest, Alex Haas, Brandon Bond. A little hesitant in the back there by Haro, just not quite sure where to go with the ball. I think he's just got to take that one time.
I agree. He's got to get that off.
Ream it out to the sideline
a bit quicker.
Yeah, because
that could have been a real dangerous deflection.
Because at this level, you make one mistake as a goalie, and the other team will be quickly to capitalize on it. Bennett Hunter checking in for the first time for Parker McClure. Half is almost over, about 3 minutes and 47 seconds left. Parker McClure's done a really good job, and to get rested, and we should see him back in the second half. But I think it's a good job by Rakestraw rotating in the younger, less experienced players, getting them conditioned and getting them the game experience in the games that don't quite matter as much. But even saying that, Coppell really wants to just, bring it to every team as much as they can. Really good ball by Nick Taylor there for Jacob Capdevila.
Not quite there.
Just not quite there, and a really well done job by the Lewisville defender to head back towards his goalie. Here comes Wyatt Priest. But another good job defending for Lewisville right there. Marshall Board trying to get into the attack, but Jacob Capdevila just not quite strong enough on the pass right there, and goes out for a Coppell throw-in off the Lewisville deflection.
I think one of the biggest things about this Coppell attack, you mentioned their depth, but another thing that really helped them last year is they play smart, and they get they get just plenty of opportunities. They don't limit themselves by only putting balls on goal when it's an open shot, but they get plenty of opportunities in the box. And Nick Taylor and Wyatt Priest, they really play smart, and they play with each other a lot, and so they have a great feel for the game, especially with each other. Yeah, this is a situation last year that I think Coach Rakestraw is missing. A guy named Tanner Traw, famous for his long throw-ins into the box. Will be interesting to see if there's a guy on the Coppell team this year that can do the same, or if they'll stick to the more conventional short throw-in. Lewisville goalie just taking his time right here, really weighing all his options, lets the play come to him. Doing a really good job so far. Not much to complain about on his end. Unlucky goal, and then just a really good finish by Wyatt Priest early on in the first half there. But Coppell slowly started to increase the pressure, slowly starting to find a rhythm
See if they can pick up in the second half, um, and bring it even stronger. But about a minute or so left to go. See if they continue to try to build the attack stronger, try to just wait out the half and get to halftime. But Alex Haas with a hard knock there. Lewisville player is down. It'll be interesting to see if they take him off or if he's able to. Yep, he looks like he's getting back up. So
It's tough to play in these conditions. I mean,
yeah,
it's
cold, it's
just
windy.
get bumped a little and it feels like you get yes, exactly. And they're doing a pretty good job of it so far in the first game of the year.
And Alex Haas isn't a stranger to physicality. He's one of the more physical guys on this team. He's a bigger body, really strong, non-hesitant player. And, there's a 50-50 ball in the air. 9 times out of 10, he's probably going to win it just because he wants it more than the other team. And so it's hard to play against those guys when they're just so physical and they're just so strong. So
Coppell trying to make something out of the attack in the last few seconds of this half, but I don't think we're going to be able to get the ball in the
knocked
box.
Way out of bounds. 10 seconds to go in the half. See if Lewisville probably just takes their time right here and lets the scoreboard hit the 0-0. 3, 2, 1. Halftime. We'll see you guys back here in a short while.
shots from Alex Haas and Wyatt Priest. Lewisville gives the ball back to the keeper. Nice ball ahead. There's Haas. There's Robichaux on the near side and dribbles it out of bounds. It's a Lewisville throw-in. High ball to Capdeville. It's ahead, but it's a bit too long for Redondo. Can't quite get there. Trying to get it back. Lewisville's playing it safe. And then nice ball ahead to the midfield. Gets it over the head of the Coppell defense, but they get back in time. And there's Jeremy Basso. Can't quite get there, but it's Coppell ball nonetheless. We're going to see some more aggressiveness from this Lewisville attack in the second half. At least we expect to.
Yeah, I think as it gets closer to the final few minutes of the game, both teams are going to either start pressing or really just trying to, defend, play simple, ride out the win. But wouldn't surprise me if both teams get a few more goals here. Just the way things have been going, just not quite sure. One team's got full domination of the match yet, and I think Coppell had a little bit of that at the end of the first half, and hopefully they can just bring it into the second half. And if you're Lewisville, you got to just stay strong and really, just grind it out and, stick to the way they've been playing, because they've had plenty of chances on goal, and, if they get lucky enough, they'll get one in. But here's Alex Haas coming up through the middle, taking the ball for the feet. Jake Capdeville wide, making sure he stays on side, left-footed cross in. Just not quite on target, and it bounces through the goalpost and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you mentioned Capdeville in the first half. He's one of those guys that doesn't have a whole lot of varsity experience, so these next few games are going to be huge for him just to get out there, honestly, and just to get that experience with the top level guys from these teams.
Long goal kick by the Lewisville goalies, right to the feet of Marshall Board.
There's Capdeville on the outside again. Can't quite get to that touch, and it's to the keeper.
Yeah, I see him as a Tanner Traw kind of player, just really quick, really speedy. One touch by somebody, going, getting the ball into the box, just real dangerous.
There's some aggressive play by Haas. He doesn't like the call, but I think it was the right one there. It's a free kick for
clear shove in the back. Lewisville trying to catch Haro off his line, but Haro's well aware.
He was ready for that one.
Wide right.
He was ready for that one.
Goal kick.
Over to Lawrence Fairchild. And referee's having a chat with Coach Rakestraw. I don't think he likes what he's been saying, but...
Yeah, looks like Rakestraw's not too happy about what might be that Haas call, or Lewisville just getting off a little too early when Coppell was right in their way, but Lewisville's got every right to do that, so hopefully referee's able to get Rakestraw under control.
And there's a nice ball from the Lewisville attack, but Haro's there in time.
A nick by the Lewisville forward, and Haro goes down, but it looks like he might be doing a little bit of drama there just to draw the foul. And yellow card for the Lewisville player. Lewisville player is not happy with that. That Lewisville forward was not pleased at all. Really talking to the ref about it. High school.
They've got to protect the goalkeepers there, and I'm not so sure that should have been a card, but I do think that was the right call there.
Yeah. This referee hasn't been letting anybody get away with really anything at all, and I think that's good officiating by him.
I agree.
But I think that was a little quick to the pocket there. Coppell will be up one man for a little bit, but it looks like Lewisville's got a sub ready to go. So, it's high school rules. Get a card, you got to get sent off. and then he can get brought back in. But Lewisville's got a player ready, and Haro is going to probably look to either get this ball down to out here to the wide to Lawrence Fairchild, or maybe up to the top there. But Lawrence looks pretty open. That's where he goes.
And there's Lawrence Fairchild. We mentioned before. He's a huge centerpiece to this defense. And he'll be important in this second half against Lewisville. So there it is, ahead to Wyatt Priest. He can't control it. Back to Fairchild in the corner.
Difficult ball by Asa Robichaud there, but Fairchild quickly there to sweep everything up, and he's looking long.
Fairchild.
And he's going for Marshall Board, who's able to get the ball under control and knocks it to Priest. But Lewisville quickly to get 2 or 3 guys on Wyatt, so they definitely know who Coppell's strongmen are. But Coppell knocking it around like they have been, all last year and all really for the first half of this
Alex
game.
Haas in the middle.
Long
nice ball.
Jacob Capdeville, that wind, going into the wind really helps the long balls, but Jacob's just unable to get the ball under control, and Lewisville's there quickly to steal it.
Referee stops play there.
Looks like he's pointing in the Coppell direction. Lewisville player exiting the field, not quite sure what for. Maybe the referee didn't like what he saw there, maybe a possible substitution. But it's a Lewisville throwing on their half of the field, going into Coppell's half. Header on by Alex Haas to Parker McClure.
And Haas takes it back to his defensive line. There's Fairchild up the middle to Wyatt Priest. But he loses the ball, and it's Lewisville's taking it forward. It's a nice play by Marshall Board to get back there. That ball doesn't quite make it through, but McClure gets it back and makes a nice move around the Lewisville defender.
Just a solid foot in the way of McClure's pass to Haas. That's just what Lewisville's been doing. It's just Coppell seems to get going, but Lewisville seems to just always have a guy right there to snag the ball away, and Coppell's got to throw in deep in their own corner. Looks like Basso's on the ball. He's got a couple guys open, decides to go towards Priest's direction. Priest wins the header, Parker off the chest. Parker's able to bring it down. Parker's a really skillful guy. Him and Haas in the midfield there, along with Priest. They got the triangle of sorts going on. Looks like they got like a 4-1 going for Rakestraw in his formation. Really difficult formation. Got Haas kind of just floating in between the midfield and the defense, and then Priest getting more forward towards Kiko Redondo, who looks like he's playing a lone striker role. Capdevilla and Board out wide at winger position right now. Just unsuccessful to get any sort of momentum going. Kiko looked like he was caught offsides there, maybe Capdevilla.
There's Jeremy Basso back there. Gets it back to Fairchild in the middle. Looks to switch sides there over to Robichaud. That's not a good ball by Robichaud, and it goes astray.
Just unable to link passes together seems to be killing this Coppell team. They get a few going, and then they're not able to just, really get the control they had. But I think that comes with a lack of chemistry between the team. Hard foul there, maybe a cheap foul. Rakestraw's not pleased with it. He's come out of the bench. He's screaming at the ref, palms up, kind of wondering what the foul is for. I think Lewisville got a lucky one right there, but edge of the box. Let's see if Haro can position a wall. He's got McClure and Priest coming in to help Capdevilla. Will Lewisville shoot, or will they go towards the backside?
If y'all remember this, in the first half, this was Lewisville's only goal was off a set piece.
Yeah, and they got the win at their back now, so
let's see what they can do here
to get it going.
So Lewisville with a set piece, up ahead on goal, but it's right to Jose Haro, the keeper. He's able to control that one. So Haro, back in the box, taking his time. Now rolls it ahead to Fairchild, ahead to Robichaud. The ball is deflected, but stays with Coppell. There's Wyatt Priest there. And looks like it's a call on Lewisville, so Coppell will get the free kick here. Priest is trying to take it quickly. Gets it ahead to Redondo, but that's a miscommunication there with Capdevila on the end, and goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it's just a lack of chemistry there between the forward play. Hopefully as we see going on later in the year, we won't see that as much. But so these games are for, like I said earlier, get the kinks out and really just gel together as a team and figure out everyone's playing style in a game, because you can gel so well in practice, but when you get in a game, you're not doing a practice scenario.
There's a nice ball ahead to Capdevila. Let's see what he can do with it. The ball to the middle, but it's a little bit too hot on the back heel of McClure, and it goes astray. Like you said, Capdevila is a new guy, and we saw right there they've just got to work some things out. It takes time to play with each other to really get to develop the sense of, where's this guy going to be? But that'll come with more experience on the varsity level for Capdevila. There's a ball out of bounds by Lewisville. It's Robichaud over the head of Capdevila, but he gets it back. Now down to Priest. Can't control it, but again it's Robichaud who kicks it out of bounds past Capdevila's reach.
Yeah, Rayshaw looks to be screaming at his team to get the ball down under control and maintain possession. They're playing very uncharacteristically like a non-Coppell team right now. Lawrence Fairchild brings the ball down, but just knocks it long. There's no one there, and that's just kind of the way the game's gone. Is they just haven't really been able to link passes too well. And Lewisville, not to discredit them, but they aren't the caliber team that Coppell will really look to play, in the later rounds of playoffs. And if Coppell can't figure out how to start maintaining possession better, it could be a little bit rougher of a season for them.
Well, there's McClure there on the sideline. And passes back to him. He gives it up to Basso, who can't quite control it. Now comes Lewisville, but nice stop there by Ackling. If that ball had gotten behind him, it could have been trouble for the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Coppell defense with Ackling and Fairchild has really bailed out that Coppell midfield. You just got to see better play out of Haas and Priest and McClure. They're trying, but the outside forwards just haven't been making the run. So wonder if we see Nick Taylor and Brandon Bond get back in and see if the game changes, because those guys have a lot more chemistry together. But that's what these games are for. You got to build the relationships with those young guys and figure out the playing style. And those young guys have to quickly get picked up with the system and figure out how Coppell plays. Otherwise, it'll just be a hard season for them.
There's Wyatt Priest ahead to Parker McClure. Gets a nice ball ahead to Redondo. Can't quite control it, but Coppell's moving on the attack now. They're staying aggressive, which is what they need to do. Keep getting those balls downfield. So it looks like it's going to be Capdevila on the throw-in. Gives it ahead to Priest. Good play by the Lewisville defense, but they can't get it out of bounds. And there's Capdevila there, who loses it. And Lewisville's coming on the counterattack. That ball's a bit too long.
Very well defended by Basso there. Got goal side of his man, and his first to the ball. It's just textbook defending by the young defender right there.
There's Haro. Nice play there. A good play by Ackling to allow Haro to get to that ball before the Lewisville attack. So here's Robichaud on the near side. Gives it ahead to Capdevila. That's just not a good pass. He's got to complete that in bounds.
Yeah, I think with this tournament, they're going to really look to clean up some of the sloppiness that's been going on in this game. The incompleted passes are just too heavy of a touch. Just not really linking up how Coppell should be linking up. And I think we're a little spoiled last year. Just such a strong team that had really played together for a couple years. So, got a relatively new team this year. So it'll just be interesting to see how they move on this weekend and into playoffs.
And there's Haas. Tries to get it past the Lewisville defense, but he can't, so he gives it back to Fairchild. Fairchild passes it all the way over to Basso on the other side. Gets it up past the midfield, and that's a nice touch.
Marshall Board on the ball right there.
That's not a good pass there. He's got to control that one a little bit better to the Lewisville.
Just not quite
Defense
maintaining
takes
possession.
advantage.
It's been a rough day for possession for both teams. Coppell, really, if you look at the possession stats, probably has the advantage, but not by much. Not to say that both teams aren't playing well, but Coppell just gets the ball for a couple touches, and then it just seems like it gets poked away, and then they get the ball back, and it gets poked away. It's just a lot of back and forth, and not much control of the game. And I bet Rakestraw's down there screaming at his team right now to have them settle down and really slow the game down, like the game come to them, and then build out of the back. Just how they're coached.
So there's a long free kick by Lewisville. It doesn't see a Farmer, but there they get it back there. It's a nice shot. Oh, and it goes right off the crossbar. Hits the field goal post. And man, Jose Haro almost got caught sleeping there.
Yeah.
I mean, if that ball was 6 inches lower, that would have been an incredible goal by Lewisville. They saw him a little bit too forward. And there, I think he needs to be ready for those because teams are going to come after him.
Yeah, the sun's starting to come out. It's behind him. I don't think it got in his eyesight, but you never know. With the way this game's been going, it just takes a chance like that. Lewisville's got a free kick from about 38 yards out. This is a very easily shooting distance for a high school kid. Haro's already been beat once from distance into the wind, so with wind at his back, who knows how this shot will go. It'll probably dip and swerve and could take a mean and nasty bounce. He's directing the wall right now. Capdeville is trying to join in. We'll see how this Lewisville free kick goes. See if they go for the shot or try to play a ball in.
And there's a shot on goal.
Ooh, right between the
just
crossbars.
over the crossbar. I think Haro played that pretty well, but we can see already they're going after him as soon as they can. They beat him, like you said, they beat him that one time on the free kick earlier in the game, and they're going to continue to try to test this young keeper, who doesn't have a whole lot of experience yet. So we'll see how they can test him as the game goes on, but for right now, it's Haro.
It'll be interesting to see if we see Deep Sony later on in this game, or maybe possibly getting the start next game or joins in halftime next game. And I'm sure Rakestraw's going to want to see which goalie works better for him in game. And I think that now is the best time to do it rather than during the season, because that's the last thing you want. Is you don't want to be unsure of who you're playing in goal. That's just such a crucial position for them. They've been fortunate to have some really good starters in the past. Last year, Jerry Longoria was a phenomenal goalie, several clean sheets. And so this year they've got to really focus on getting a good goalie.
Capdeville ahead, puts a ball in the middle. Oh, and it's just over the crossbar. There's Marshall Board there, just can't put it on goal.
Looks like it just bounced up a little too high as he was winding up for his shot. And I think he knew that, and he hesitated on his shot a little bit because he didn't quite follow through all the way.
That was a nice run by Capdeville, though.
Yeah, still really good attacking play by Coppell. That's more of the traditional Coppell soccer we're used to seeing. So it looks like Coppell's gotten a little bit of a identity in this game now, and 23 minutes left. See what they can do.
There's McClure in the middle. Over to Priest. He tries to send it to the corner for Board again, but he can't get there. That ball was a bit behind him, and it's Lewisville ball.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad idea, just not very well executed. I think Rakestraw's okay with that. Just wanting Kiko to settle down. Kiko might have even had a chance to wind up for a shot, only about 30 yards out into the wind. Very manageable shot for Kiko.
There's a mistake from Lewisville. Priest gets it forward. It's back to Priest.
Heavy touch.
It looks like it's going to be off him to Robichaux, who sends it back to Fairchild. Tries to get it ahead. Oh, and there's a ball that goes off the Coppell. It's a goal kick for Lewisville. They really haven't been able to get many great shots off. You see the two shots in the first half that go in, but other than that, not a whole lot on goal for Coppell so far. Haven't been able to get too many chances in the box here. There's been, like you mentioned, there's been some sloppy passing, but starting to play really aggressive now and trying to get forward.
Yeah. Back line starting to come out of their own half, but Lewisville quickly knocks the ball back in.
It goes over the head of Fairchild, but Robichaux's back there to clean it up.
Coach Rakestraw sent Nick Taylor out to warm up, so we could be seeing him come in for either Coppell or Marshall Board, possibly even go into the midfield and give a player like Alex Haas some rest and just rotate those guys around. But maybe with the addition of Nick Taylor back in the game, Coppell really start to get an attacking identity.
Here's Board trying to get around the Lewisville defender. Sends it way ahead to Capdevilla, but that curves back to Lewisville.
Priest pleading for a handball, but it looked like it was off the shoulder, and most referees nowadays won't even give a shoulder. Lewisville, hard knock out of bounds, Coppell throw in.
No, that's the ball to Lewisville.
Knocked off a Basso out there on the outside. Referee didn't agree with Coppell. Lewisville quickly just sprint after the ball.
So here's Lewisville on the throw-in. You mentioned Nick Taylor there warming up on the sidelines. He's a guy that can come in here and just be a difference maker for this Coppell offense. He's electric on the attack. He's able to get around defenders with ease. Him and Priest in there. Maybe Rakestraw's trying to add a few more on for some security goals.
Yeah.
But right now it's Lewisville in the attacking half.
Yeah, this is uncharacteristic Coppell play. Most of the time they're dominating teams, and I think it's always struggling in the first couple games. You look at last year's team. Went to the Mass tournament. Very elite, difficult tournament. Just a couple of really difficult games, and I think Coppell's done a really good job getting into a pretty difficult tournament here with some really good teams. Really figure out how good they actually are, not getting too high and mighty too early. But Rakestraw's talking to Nick Taylor down there on the sideline, looking to get him subbed in as quickly as possible. He looks ready to go. I think Rakestraw's really ready to just get maybe one or two more goals in and really cement this thing, and they can get out of here with a win, rest up for tomorrow's game. Right now it's looking to be at 5 o'clock, but things could always change.
There's a head to Fairchild. Tries to send it up to Coppell midfield, but ball goes out of bounds. Oh, nope. Looks like the referee's taking it back to the goal kick.
Looks like we got an offsides call actually down there. Looks like it was kick. Free kick was taken a little before the referee was ready. So Faro's winding up to go long. Let's see where he goes with the ball. Maybe Priest down here in the middle.
That goes high, but the wind brings it back a little bit. So Lewisville gets a ball ahead. And that's a good ball. Oh, he just missed it. Just past the post there. And Haro was in good position, but that was a mistake by the Coppell defense. They got a ball behind them, and Lewisville almost capitalizing on that mistake.
Yeah, caught out a little bit out of position there. Lawrence Fairchild was a little ahead, and it looked to be Ackling or Basso one-on-one with the Lewisville player, and the Lewisville player just not quite under control enough and just slots it just to the outside of the near post here.
So here comes Nick Taylor, who subbed in for Marshall Board, and then they send Capdevilla to the other side, Nick Taylor being the lefty.
They got Nick Taylor, the left-footed player, playing on the left side and looking to get some crossing balls in probably. Alex Haas right there, dragged down by the Lewisville player. Really has had a hard game in the midfield. Can't really get much space to work. I think he's going to be looking to improve his touches on the ball. Looks a little frustrated with the referee.
And there's McClure trying to get it ahead to Priest, and he does, but Priest sends it away to the Lewisville defense, but he gets it back there. And that ball was a bit too tight towards the keeper.
Just not quite sure what Priest was seeing there. Would have taken just an absolutely perfect cross in to really be any good, and just they're forcing balls in right now that they could just hold on to. Priest had a lot of space to dribble forward, so I think they'll look back at the film in this game and see that they're playing a little rushed, and they need to just slow down a little bit.
There's a nice ball from Lewisville, but it's just a bit too long. So Robichaux on the throw in. Tries to get it up to Priest. It goes off his head and back to Lewisville. That's a bad pass by Lewisville. So McClure gets it back. Robichaux up ahead to Priest, who goes back to McClure. And here's a nice attack going for Coppell. There's Priest, who sends the ball behind Redondo, but up to Priest, and he has it in the middle. Sends it a little bit too long for Taylor in the corner, who can't do anything with it. So that was a good opportunity for Coppell, but that ball to Nick Taylor just a tad too long, and so he couldn't make anything of it.
Yeah, but that's positive for Coppell, getting some good possession play in the midfield there. Referee's talking to Haas and Wyatt Priest right now. Looking over in Parker McClure's direction. Parker bounced up like a bunny right there in front of the throw, and just trying to slow the game down. He knows he's not supposed to do that, but it doesn't hurt to try. Long throw in by Lewisville here, but that last attack by Coppell was really positive. See if they can get more of that kind of attack going.
Well, there's a head to Lewisville. They can't quite get behind that Coppell defense. They want a handball on Lewisville, but they don't get it. There's Alex Haas. Nice takeaway by him. So Priest taking his time.
Slowing it down.
Sends it up to Redondo. McClure out ahead to Taylor.
Two guys are in the box. He knocks it back.
There's Priest. Over to Haas. Doesn't see anything there. So he sends it over to Capdevila. It's knocked off the Lewisville defender and out of bounds.
That's the more traditional Coppell play we're used to seeing. You know, they're getting it up through the midfield, getting it wide, nothing there. Let's knock it back through the midfield. You know, you got two really strong guys. Priest and Haas really connecting passes well now. Parker McClure getting forward into the attack. You know, just strong play by Coppell.
But Lewisville takes it back. They're trying to make something on the counterattack here. Can't quite get it ahead soon enough, and so it's back to Nick Taylor on the sideline. Oh, and he's taken down by the Lewisville defender. He looks to be okay.
Yeah, Rayshaw's not too happy about that call. It came kind of late. Looks like Nick got bumped and bruised a little too early, and he's in the official's ear right now.
Coppell plays it back quickly. So it's over to Jeremy Basso, who sends it back to McClure. It's not a good ball by Basso, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah. Just a lack of chemistry, like I've been saying. You know, passes aren't quite being connected. We'll see how the tournament progresses, see if they can really get them going well.
You know, one thing I will say about this Coppell team in the second half, while they haven't been able to do much on the attack, they've really been able to take away any kind of, you know, attacking power from Lewisville. They've been stepping in front of passes. They've been making it tough on Lewisville just to get the ball even in their attacking third.
Coppell throw in here. Basso throws it into Priest. But once again, another poorly placed pass, and it's right in the other team.
That ball got behind the Coppell defense. They're lucky the Lewisville forward tripped. But here's Lewisville now. Sends a ball to the middle, and it's a good ball. That's a nice play by George Ackling. And Haas takes it away. It's a long ball up to Capdevila, who tries to get past the Lewisville defender, but he can't. It's a nice play there. And Priest just sends it out of bounds.
Eric, zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. You're a little tight. Eric, zoom out a little bit. On the bottom there, there's on the bottom, like where it says report and everything.
So there's Haas. Tries to send it up ahead to Capdevila. Goes a bit too high. The Lewisville defense recovers. Priest unable to get that ball through to Redondo. It's a high foot by Redondo. So Lewisville gets the free kick here.
Right above your thumb, there's a little black thing right there. Yeah.
Ball goes ahead. Makes it to the Coppell back line, but they clear it. So Lewisville trying to make something of their attack for really only the second time in this first half, but Jose Haro taking his time there.
Yeah. Well, a little over 10.5 minutes left in the game. Coppell yet to score a goal in this half. Lewisville, not much possession at all. Really no attack, but really starting to put the pressure on now as the game gets closer. They want to really get the win.
It's been a pretty physical game here, and Haro almost loses that one, but he falls on it. I mean, this Coppell defense, props to them. They've played extremely well, especially here in the second half. You know, they've been physical when they need to.
Low punt by Haro right there. Lucky bounce. Knocked up to Kiko playing forward. That could have turned into something really, really dangerous right there.
But it goes off Nick Taylor and out of bounds, so Lewisville has the throw in here. So there's Alex Haas ahead to Parker McClure. And sent out to Nick Taylor, but he can't beat the goalie to it.
Yeah, too strong of a pass into Kiko Redondo right there. Tries to just lay a one-touch ball off to Nick Taylor. Would have been a really nice play, but the ball in was just a little too strong.
So that's Coppell ball on the far sideline. Assistant referee again not liking what Chad Rakestraw has to say. So they're just stopping to have a bit of a chat here.
I think Rakestraw's not too pleased with the call. It seems like Lewisville's been getting away with a little too much stuff, and Coppell's been getting called for the slightest of things. And that right there, they're talking about a throw-in. Rakestraw's pointing back to where Nick Taylor got bumped, and he's probably just letting the official know that, hey, calls aren't going both ways like they should be. And it looks like they're peaceful talk, not too much hostility, but Rakestraw's just letting the official know. He's like, hey, you're calling a lot for them. We're not getting much on the same. So this is call it even, call it both ways.
So we return to the game here. Coppell has the ball down past midfield in their attacking half, but Lewisville able to send it back to the Coppell defense. Nice play there by Robichaux to get that ball down to the forwards.
Kiko with a great first touch. Ball's out
nice
wide
turn.
to Capdevilla.
Capdevilla back to, a good play by the keeper. Coppell can't get somebody back on it off the rebound, and so Lewisville continues to play solid defense here in the second half. It looks like it's going to be a handball there.
Yeah, just going up for balance, and the ball bounced up and hit the underside of Lawrence's elbow right there. Not much he can do about that. Not much to complain about. Referee with pretty obvious call right there. Coppell quickly gets back though. They get 5 men immediately back to the edge of their 18, holding a pretty decent line, giving Haro some room to work if necessary. Redondo out there, 10 yards. He knows his duty as a forward to get in front of those long free kicks and see if Coppell can get
They send it to the box and they get a guy behind him, but they can't make anything from it.
Yeah, Lewisville's quickly getting the ball out, making Haro not work so much, but Haro's probably going to take his time here just because he knows he's got the win. He's going to switch the side of the field more towards the middle of the goal. Smart goalkeeping, get some of that time ticked off the clock.
That was a dangerous pass there.
Dangerous set piece.
They had a man behind the Coppell back line, but they just couldn't do anything with it.
Another high kick by Hara gets headed on by Parker McClure and Wyatt Priest.
The ball goes between the defender's legs, and McClure gets it back, sends it ahead to Redondo.
Lovely through ball. Just a little too...
and that's a bad pass right to Nick Taylor. See if he can make anything from it with his left foot, but he can't. Sends it just past the goal.
Yeah, just a little too much across the face of the goal there. Maybe if Capdevilla made his run more towards the back post instead of so much across, he could have even knocked it into the back post. But lovely play by Parker McClure in the midfield to steal the ball away, knock it onto Redondo, who got it able to get outside to Kiko from Nick Taylor, and Nick Taylor with the shot right there. A very, very positive play in the second half of this second half here, you know.
They just got to start creating more chances like that one. So here's Robichaux on the near sideline. We've got just under 7 minutes to play. Coppell still leading 2-1 over Lewisville. That's a nice play by Basso, but it's taken back by the Lewisville midfield. There's Nick Taylor. Can't make anything from it.
Yeah, Lewisville's been maintaining pretty high pressure on this Coppell attack. They haven't got much to work with. The defense, Coppell defensive line has been able to work pretty well, lots of space, but as soon as one ball gets knocked into a Coppell attacker, Lewisville's there to swarm with 2 or 3 guys.
And Lewisville gets the handball right there.
And Lawrence Fairchild, second one of the game, he just went up to cover his face there. Lewisville's got a really great opportunity to get another goal here, maybe tie this thing up, knock it into maybe an overtime. From about 29 yards out, middle of the goal, Lewisville's got the wind at their back. Can't get much better of a free kick than this. They take the quick one.
Not sure what they're trying to do there.
Referee stops play there. That was a little curious from Lewisville right there.
Yeah.
Trying to sneak something past the referee, but the referee's literally talking to the Lewisville players.
So
he's got his
Haro
eye on the
here.
ball.
It's just another set piece for Haro. Let's see what they try to do with it if they try to put it on goal again.
30 yards out, right hash. Let's see.
And they do try to put it on goal.
But right to Haro. Bats it down right in front of him. Quick throw out to Nick Taylor.
It's an easy play. They're trying to get back on the counterattack here. Nick Taylor, ball ahead, doesn't quite make it through. It's good defense by Lewisville. But Alex Haas comes back. Ball's ahead to Capdevila, but he loses it.
Coppell still winning 2-1. Less than 5 minutes to go in the first game of this tournament. If Coppell wins, they'll play tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. Coppell loses, they'll play at 1 p.m. And then from that game, if they win tomorrow's game, they'll play 5 p.m. Saturday. If they lose, they'll play 1 p.m. Saturday. So Coppell's looking to play at 5 p.m. both Friday and Saturday. Rakestraw's taking out Alex Haas. Probably a really smart move right there. Alex has been getting a little heated in the midfield. Not really worth it to get.
There's McClure. It's just past the goal, but I agree with you. Haas has been getting really aggressive. He's played real solid, but Rakestraw having a chat with him over there on the sideline.
Yeah, probably not a very negative chat. Just kind of saying, it's been a rough game from the referee standpoint for you. Need to just get you on the bench, get you out, get your legs rested. Got a game tomorrow afternoon. No point in having you risk getting hurt or something.
So there's Priest, can't get a handle on it. So it's sent over to that far sideline where Lewisville forward loses the ball. We've Coppell with a throw in. They're up 2-1 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. There's
another
shove.
Another cheeky foul from Coppell right there. Just a little leg swipe and nothing too malicious, but just enough to knock Lewisville off balance and draw the referee's attention. Right there, the referee's walking up the sideline. Clear view of the foul.
So Lewisville with the set piece sends it up. It looks like it could be a counterattack here for Coppell.
Nick Taylor wide open on this near side.
So Nick Taylor, will he send it ahead to Redondo, or will he take it himself? It looks like he's going to take it himself. But he can't finish. Capdevila. Oh, and that's a great play by the Lewisville keeper.
Yes, Lewisville keeper did a really good job there, cutting off the angle. Not much for Nick Taylor to do, but really good job of getting right back up on his feet for the Capdevila shot.
Capdevila's got to be a little bit more aggressive with that. He looked a bit tentative on that one, but
that's another really good look at strong attacking play from Coppell. Quickly off the counterattack, it was a low free kick, knocked ahead. Capdevila took it, made a very beautiful pass out to Nick Taylor in stride. Nick being the attacker he is, just going to take that ball every day past the defender. He had Redondo on the far side wide open, but Nick's not going to pass up a glorious opportunity to go one-on-one and finish. Really good job of the keeper getting down low. Nick tried to go through his legs, but he stayed strong and then got right back up. there's a fantastic job by Lewisville right there, keeping a third goal off the board.
That's what we saw from Nick Taylor last year. He had the 2 Lewisville defenders ahead of him. He was able to split them. I mean, he's just amazing with, on the dribble. He's just able to get past the defender so quickly. He's not necessarily as much fast as he is quick, and he's just hard. He's hard to stop when he has the ball at his feet.
And he's a really good dribbler, so he'll put the moves on you. He looks up to guys like Neymar and Ronaldo, and clearly shows in his play. He'll do some step overs and some body fakes, and really get players off balance, then cut past them. And he's just a really explosive and electric forward that most teams are going to have a very difficult time defending unless they just bring him down. And they've got Alex Haas, the exceptional free kick taker. And a lot of these forward guys, Kiko's a good free kick taker. Nick can even take some free kicks. And this Coppell team, once they get into the attack, once they start playing, really good possessive attacking like soccer, they're going to be hard to stop. And we're seeing little spurts of it here.
So Coppell taking their time here on the free kick. There's Robichaux. Tries to airmail it ahead to Redondo, who can't quite control it. So Lewisville gets it back. There's around 30 seconds left to play.
Capdevila got away with maybe an offside right there. The referee didn't have the best angle, but once again,
Capdevila. Redondo can't put it on goal. That's a nice play by the Lewisville defense.
And Capdevila too heavy of a first touch out. Pretty okay game for the first game of the tournament. I think Coppell's got lots of areas to improve. If you're Lewisville, really not much to hang your hat on. 2 really good goals.
So there it is. Coppell defeating Lewisville 2-1 in the first game of this young season and of the North Texas Elite Showcase Tournament. I'm Marcus Crum alongside Kevin Madigan. Thanks for listening.